Ah, Dobby. Natürlich komme ich mit Kratos. Ich weiß nicht, was das für ein Wesen war, aber es sah sehr cool aus. Ich freue mich schon so sehr auf das Spiel, das könnt ihr euch echt nicht vorstellen, ne? Wirklich, das könnt ihr euch nicht vorstellen.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Hogwarts Legacy Gameplay Showcase.
Hallo.
I'm Chandler Wood, Community Manager here at Avalanche Software, and I'm honored to introduce you to our panel today. First up, we have community guest host, Ben Snow.
Oh my god, I can't believe this is happening. Thank you so much for having me.
Ich find's voll cool, dass die Häuser von denen dabei stehen.
Director Alan Tu.
Hello everybody.
And systems designer Mackenzie Toner.
Hi.
And finally, just off screen capturing gameplay for us, Andrew Corum. Today we'll be giving you a taste of the open world via Broomflight, a deeper look at combat using the Dark Arts Battle Arena, and a look at your personalizable home in Hogwarts, the Room of Requirement, where we may even see some beasts. And we're starting right where we left off
Nee, die eine war rot
just
gekleidet.
outside Hogwarts,
Wait.
which I just off screen
Hier.
capturing.
Sie ist rot gekleidet, aber ist auch Ravenclaw.
And from the Avalanche team, we have game director Alan Tu.
Hello everybody.
And systems
Da
designer
passt.
Mackenzie Toner.
Hi.
Da passt
And
nicht.
finally, just off
Ah, nee,
screen
sie ist
capturing
Dingens.
gameplay for us,
Dingens
Andrew
ist sie.
Corum. Today we'll be giving you a taste of the open world via Broomflight, a deeper look at the Room of Requirement, where we
Ja, ich bin Profi.
Proximity that I can get.
I love that we gameplay for us, Andrew Corum.
Profi, Entschuldigung.
Today
Ich
we'll be
feier
giving
einfach,
you a
wie er
taste
da
of
so
the open world
reingekrabbelt
via
kommt.
Broomflight, a deeper look at combat using the Dark Arts Battle Arena, and a look at your personalizable home within Hogwarts, the Room of Requirement, where we may even see some beasts. And we're starting right where we left off in our last gameplay
Das Outfit
showcase,
ist cool.
just outside Hogwarts, which I love that you can walk out of the castle after walking through everything and then just come out here and
Bin
take off
kein
on your broom
React-Streamer,
out
das
into the
werde ich
open
auch nie.
world. And Alan, I know
Ich bin
that's
ich
something
gucke
that
an
you
und sage,
particularly
oh,
like about Hogwarts
nee.
Legacy too.
Das bin ich.
I'm a big fan of just being able to hop on the broom and go anywhere. There's something about kind of like the sensation of everything being open to you, and just I love the proximity
He's
that I
flying.
can get to things. I love flying close to the ground, and I kind of wanted to talk about it just because I feel like
Hedwig's Hagrid's
you know, the
Hütte.
brooms are fun for me, not just because of all those feelings of exhilaration, but because they're not just I have a broom and it's done. I actually kind of like some of the mechanics in it. So you see in the lower right, there's a meter there, and occasionally as Andrew
Der Schauspieler von Hagrid, der lebt nicht mehr, das stimmt.
you might notice it draining or not.
Der Schauspieler, ja, genau.
And
Der
this
lebt ja nicht
isn't
mehr.
the present day where all the broom technology is well
Gar nicht so
known
lange
and
her.
advanced and everything that we know and love. This is an earlier time where they're still trying to figure out, you know, we're not at the 3000 yet. We're at the 11. So.
Oh my goodness, I'm just so speechless right now because this is just so beautiful. The world just looks so. By the way,
Also der in Gelb ist voll hyped, ne? Der ist richtig hyped.
Yeah, so we have a shop in Hogsmeade, actually a broom shop. And so that sells a variety of different brooms. And it was important to us that the player could customize themselves based on their own aesthetic. So they're purely cosmetic, but if you talk to the shopkeep and help him out, he'll actually sell upgrades.
Yeah, and those
Sieht schon sehr geil aus, die
will
Welt,
make
ne?
it so that where normally the broom, you can only fly, you can only go at max speed. It's kind of like a turbo meter down there. You can only go at max speed without the meter going down, kind of closer to the ground. And as you raise into the air, you'll notice the meter drop. And so those upgrades will allow you to increase that distance from the ground. And the broom owner at the sporting goods store in Hogsmeade is trying to perfect the broom and get better at it and know it better. And you can participate that and get better and better brooms through that.
Ich weiß nicht warum, mich erinnert ein bisschen die Welt an Witcher 3 und ich weiß nicht warum. Ich bekomme bei mehreren Bereichen der Welt Witcher 3 Flashbacks und ich weiß nicht warum. Auch das, wo da dieser See war mit dieser komischen Holzbrücke. Ich weiß, dass es sowas auch in Witcher 3 gibt. Es sieht fast 1:1 genauso aus. Bei Witcher ist es, ich meine, wer bedient sich nicht bei jemand anderes? Ich muss mein Mikro drehen. Ich durch die Farbe gebe. Und das kann natürlich auch sein. Es wäre eigentlich voll cool, wenn wir Hogwarts Legacy spielen und danach dann direkt mal Witcher 3 spielen. Einfach nur um zu gucken. Einfach nur mal um zu gucken. Das wäre eigentlich mal eine richtig gute Idee, oder? Oh ja, doch, ja, doch. Eigentlich wäre das schon cool. War Witcher 3 auch so in Herbstatmosphäre? Ich weiß es gerade gar nicht mehr. Doch, stimmt. War auch ziemlich so rot, gelb, gold, ne? Ja.
There's lots to
Bin ich
explore
für.
on the ground, and so kind of keeping you down at the ground
And to me,
level.
it feels like it's got this kind of surfing.
Muss mal im
vibe
Kalender
over
gucken, weil
the-
ich glaube, ich habe noch
Oh my God,
Hogwarts
like, I'm just
Legacy
like, I
bis
wanna
Juni
snatch
nichts
the
drin oder
controller from Andrew right now
Juli.
because I want to go to the mountaintop, I'm going to the forest and to that hamlet, or well, I don't know if that's how it's called. I think that's what it is.
No, it's awesome. We're actually gonna land here, and I feel like that you call it a hamlet is just perfect, just because that's what we refer to it as. And so
Nee, ist
we all know
leer.
from lore that
Also,
Hogsmeade is
bis
the only all
Mai ist
wizarding
komplett
village
leer.
within Britain. But we wanted other opportunities to kind of meet
Krass,
other
ich finde den
characters
Kontrast
out here and
gut,
kind of
oder was?
populate the landscape, so it's not just kind of, barren as you leave out this direction and that direction. And so we just imagine these different dwellings, these different smaller locations that wizards might live in out in the Scottish Highlands. And so it's those, and so we refer to those as hamlets, and they're opportunities to learn those wizard stories, how those different locations have kind of like learned to live, what their relationships are with characters.
Die Hütte sieht so geil aus, aber ich glaube, das kann man nicht in Sims nachbauen.
Opportunities out here and a chance to kind of get to know more of the area, even beyond Hogwarts and Hogsmeade that we've already experienced. And you also notice on the mini-map like lots of little icons, and each one of those represent gameplay in the hamlets that you can participate in. Whether it's a vendor or different puzzles and challenges.
Oh, ich bin so auf Hogsmeade gespannt.
Each one of those icons are different opportunities for gameplay. And you'll notice that same thing as we venture out into the open world as well. So when you go out into the open world and you see those icons, whether they're on the mini-map or on your map or off in the distance, those things are opportunities to say, like, I want to increase my inventory capacity. They're puzzles left behind by old wizards, that you can solve that actually grant you those. If you see ruins off in the distance and you visit them, you might find opportunities to actually expand and learn about your ancient magic. And as you kind of encounter different enemies dotted on the landscape, sometimes those characters, poachers or dark wizards,
Trinken. Hey,
might
da
be
ist ein
hoarding
Geist.
different
Trinkt wirklich.
magical resources that are valuable
Hab's
to you
gecallt.
as you're playing the game. So each one has kind of like a way to connect to our gameplay loops and provide different opportunities that just kind of reward you for poking around them.
I mean, I right away want to just cover all of those points on the map just by going over there.
Well, we've flown on a broom already, but there is something that we haven't done so far, and that is getting on our flying mount. We're going to hop on our Onyx Hippogriff here. The Onyx Hippogriff is our pre-order bonus.
Oh my God, there he just like pops out of the bag. Oh,
Ich hätte gern auch so eine Tasche im realen Leben, ne?
A horse?
Yeah, as a hippogriff, you can totally ride it.
Ich will es nochmal angucken.
And you can lift off into the air.
Pre-order bonus.
Oh my God, there he just like pops
Das
out
sieht
of
so gut aus.
the bag. Oh wait, you can use it as a horsey? I mean, a horse. I mean, that is a horse.
Yeah, as a hippogriff, you can totally ride it like a ground mount, and you can lift off into the air. And we try to make sure that each of those interactions, so the broom's really good at reaching that top speed, at kind of traveling the world as quickly as possible. But sometimes it's really nice to get on the hippogriff because of that ground speed or those transitions. And sometimes it just feels amazing.
Siehst du schon die
just to
Peter kommen,
be
ne?
riding
Aber
around
gut,
on
das
that.
kennt man ja schon aus
Yeah, it really is kind of like
Fantastische Tierwesen. Da machen die es ja
It's
genauso.
a great feeling managing those transitions, kind of going from run to fly and just being able to go wherever you want. And we tried to make sure that
Die Federn sehen ein bisschen stumpf aus, aber okay.
Interact with have a unique identity and a reason for being.
And, oh my God, like I see like different like areas, like a swampy area. By the way, can you go to like entire map anywhere you go? There are regions that are
Darf
like
gar nicht.
off-limits?
Jetzt machen die doch bei
as soon
Pokémon
as
immer sehr gerne,
there's kind of
ne?
a moment where the world kind of opens up to you outside of Hogwarts as a
Tasche ist
student,
wie
and right
Pokéball,
from
ja,
that
genau.
moment,
Aber bei
early on in
Pokémon
the
rastet
game,
die
you
Peter
can
auch
go
immer
wherever you want.
regelmäßig
And
aus.
so you might find more difficult challenges in different areas, and you'll see different spots as Andrew's moving around, like you mentioned the swamp. but we have got like a coast, and we've got different types of environments out in the world just to kind of pepper your experience, reward you for exploring, keep things fresh. All those things exist as we're moving around.
So cool. I love that windmill. It's like so rustic. Like I keep forgetting that this is like 1800.
Ich wollte gerade auch sagen, ich finde die Windmühle voll geil.
Like it feels so authentic. Like it's part of it.
Yeah, I love this vista too, and I'm gonna have Andrew stop here. We're gonna
Sehr
use a
cool
bit
aus.
of dev magic to.
Was sind das eigentlich für
change the
Luftballons,
seasons,
die da
actually.
links?
I want you to see what this
Den
world looks
rechts
like.
gut. Die da
with
links
covered in
schweben. Die habe ich
snow.
vorhin schon gesehen.
Yes, please. I love snow.
That's all I want.
Long wavy.
Oh my God, this is so beautiful. Oh my goodness.
Der rastet voll
It was
aus.
so realistic. Oh my God, it changes the landscape like completely. Oh my God, does it have like actual like gameplay impact, like impact on the gameplay, or does it like it's just the weather of Scotland?
Yeah, we really use it as a narrative marker through the game. So as you're progressing through your main storyline, it was important for us to kind of like have those moments that kind of felt like when you're reading the books or watching the movies, where you'll see kind of like the title card winter. And
Also ihr wisst schon mal, diese Luftballons hängen da wohl immer. Egal zu welcher Jahreszeit. Was sind das für Dinge?
I think we wanted to duplicate that, and for me it's really fun that it's not just on the outside, which I agree. I think it looks really beautiful. But within the school
Erstliches Wasser gefällt mir nicht, also so von oben stand, aber jetzt so vom Nahen sieht das Wasser um einiges besser aus.
Reacts to holidays, and the school reacts to holidays, and you see the decorations around those environments change. That really helped just kind of make me feel like I'm there.
Kämpfen.
And it's not just for the seasons, those kind of vibe things. Like we have a day-night cycle, and that day-night cycle, even though similarly, like it's largely about vibe when you go into Hogsmeade.
Ich kann mich ehrlich gesagt nicht mal an die Wassergrafik in Horizon erinnern, Lobbers, muss ich zugeben.
When there's just candlelight and students kind of like as you're walking through the halls.
Müsste ich nochmal reingucken.
But in that day-night cycle is where we've kind of placed a few items where whether or not you can collect them or whether or not you can interact with them that are a little
Hinten
bit
hängst du auch wieder diese da
And I
hinten
love
da.
Andrew's flying up here really high up on the hippogriff. And we're just looking at this view of Hogwarts in the distance.
Aber auch dieses Minimap-Design ist ähnlich zu Witcher,
what I
oder?
love most about flying around in this game, whether it's on a hippogriff or on the broom.
No, I mean, you talk about going anywhere and things that you can see in the distance.
Auch so mit diesen Gegnern, die da aufploppen.
I still can't get over, like, no matter, I play this so much, but I still can't get over the fact that I can see Hogwarts out there, and there's just something beautiful about knowing that all of the things inside of it, the classrooms, the students, the professors, all the places I can go, I can just fly my hippogriff, land in the courtyard, enter the front doors, and just walk, to the library, to class, or to greenhouse, or to my common room, that it's all contiguous and just kind of like one space is still exciting to me after all this
I mean,
time.
I'm just I'm speechless right now. It's just absolutely beautiful. It's just, oh my God.
As much as we want to spend a lot more time out here just flying around, experiencing the world, I think this is a great opportunity to.
Ich glaube, das werden wir auch einen Stream machen. Einfach nur durch die Gegend eiern.
Intro to combat. This time we're gonna.
Also eigentlich machen wir das ja immer, weil ich mich ja immer verlaufe.
Dive on using the Dark Arts Battle Arena, which is part
Ich liebe die Deko, die im Hintergrund steht.
All right, Andrew's got us in the Forbidden Forest, which is where the Dark Arts Battle Arena is, which is part of the Deluxe and Digital Deluxe Edition. I love the way that the Dark Arts Battle Arena is actually part of the world. It's integrated into the world, so your experience is more immersive than just choosing an option from the main menu of the game or something like that.
A reason to go to the Forbidden Forest.
Exactly. There are many reasons to go to the Forbidden Forest, but he's also wearing the Dark Arts cosmetic set, and here he's pulling out the Thestral, which is part of that Dark Arts pack.
Ach, das ist so der, den die Vorbesteller bekommen.
Deluxe edition. So we're going full Dark Arts here.
That's good. That's what I like going down.
But I like this this battle arena. It is a great place to show off really combat in a big way, because it unlocks some interesting abilities for you and allows you to really play around with combat in a deep way.
And is this like the only arena like this in the game, where you can like practice?
Yeah. So in the base game we have 2 combat arenas normally. And so everyone has
In the base game. Ich muss schon wieder an Add-ons und DLCs denken, ne?
Just go through a difficult combat challenge, fight through multiple waves. in order to earn a different cosmetic for your character and add that to your collection. In the case of that's no different than the Dark Arts Battle Arena. That's also true, the Combat Arena. But one of the things that we're excited about in the Dark Arts Battle Arena that people
Hallo
can do
Luna,
is
hallo.
when you come in
Mr.
preloaded with
Gündak wegen
different
Arbeit, Menschen und
abilities.
Weihnachtsgeschäft. Danke für
the
den Lob,
unforgivable
fühl dich
curses are something that
gedrückt.
everyone's going to have access to through the
Dankeschön.
base game and going to be able to earn, and they can make choices in order to
Sorry,
add
no
that to
peeking.
their repertoire, and they can also commit to that down
Fachendesipo,
with
wie
certain
ähnlich.
talents
Das
and
wäre
things
schlimm,
like that.
Krü. Oh mein Gott.
When you play the Dark Arts
Dunkle
Combat
Künste
Arena,
sehe ich.
you actually
Ich
have
hab dich da auch
access to
direkt
all
gesehen,
those
Loppers.
things as kind of like a way to test them all.
Also ich meine, gut, dass es heutzutage mal ein DLC gibt, ist ja eigentlich fast schon normal, ne? Aber man muss es bitte nicht so übertreiben wie bei Sims mit Trilliarden.
everyone has the same ability to explore.
Das ist wunderschön, das
This is just kind of like
Bild.
a way of
Es ist nicht mein
And
Internet.
again, a great place for us to show off combat in general. So I think we're gonna jump in here and just gonna start battling, and we can start talking about everything you're seeing on the screen.
All right.
Naja, sie meinte eher, dass es wie bei Sims ist, dass du da im Jahr 4 große Packs und 10 kleine Packs und dann so das noch kaufen kannst, ne? Weißt du, was ich meine, Lobbers? Ich meine, dass es jetzt wie bei Witcher mal 1, 2 DLCs gibt oder bei den anderen Spielen ist ja inzwischen ja fast schon normal, ne? Aber man muss sich ja nicht übertreiben.
You'll notice that like the meter takes up a lot longer to kind of build up as a way to kind of deal with its
So auf
extreme
das
power.
Kämpfen
It's still
gespannt.
fun to use, and then there's some ways that we'll probably talk about to
DLCs? Es waren noch keine 20 DLCs bei Witcher.
Well, like I see like little blue things.
Ich kann mich jetzt an 2 oder 3 erinnern.
Also, before like that sign, well, it's like, so in the community we call it the ancient magic sign. I don't know if that's how it's called in the game.
So the community is astute. So on the development side and in player facing in the game, we reference that as your ancient magic meter.
Oh, so it is
Ach,
ancient
ich
magic.
dachte gerade, die Zeit läuft ab, aber die läuft ja weiter.
As your abilities in the game keep growing and you become exposed to some of the secrets about your own kind of mystery and your
Ja gut, ich habe jetzt gerade noch von
your own
Story-DLCs
abilities,
geredet. Ich habe gerade noch von Story geredet, tatsächlich.
So one of those powers
So Cosmetics habe ich jetzt nicht mit einberechnet.
Throughout the game. That's an ancient magic throw, we call it, that allows you to kind of like draw an object to you and fling it at an enemy.
Okay.
But whenever you see the R1 or the L1 plus R1
Wave
appear over
completed.
somebody's head, that's an ability to cast a very
Schon komm, ich werde
devastating
15
and
Trilliarden Mal
powerful,
sterben.
ancient magic spell
Oh,
to do a
that-
ton of damage against the character.
I see.
And the way that manifests itself depends on the type of enemy that you're fighting.
Ich
And
weiß
you'll
ja
see
nicht.
a
Ja,
wide
genau,
variety
das,
of
was
enemies
Grün
in
meint.
here that are pressuring the player in different ways. You'll notice there's
Oh, dieses, hey, du möchtest
abilities
Staubsauger
that
haben?
kind of
Hier,
bubble
5
up from
Euro.
the
Dann kriegst du
player as he's
Staubsauger.
fighting, that force him to move. And there's
Und
different ways that
trotzdem
we
kauf
want the
ich's.
player to kind of move around on the battlefield. And that's actually a good link to the ancient magic meter in general. And the reason why I say that is because
Echt jetzt,
as you're doing
Lobbers?
different
Oh,
things in
shit.
combat, you're protagoring,
Ich muss mal gucken, was das
you're
Upgrade
doing
kostet
different
oder was
abilities
beziehungsweise
and kind of
PS5
spectating
kostet. Ich hab's für die
challenge.
PS4
There's
gar
different ways
nicht.
to get that meter to build faster and faster. So one of the most effective base ways to build up that meter fast, that way you can launch these devastating attacks whenever you want to, is to actually perform combos. So you see that combo appearing, and it's almost like your emotions are building up, and then basically that builds up
Vergünstigt? Was
enough that you
kostet's
can
denn?
attack someone. But as the combo meter builds up, at some point you strike someone, and a piece of their magic kind of falls out of them. You'll see these blue orbs in the game world, and there's something that only you can see in the narrative, in the world. And it's another reason to move around on the battlefield. If you can go up and collect those things and suck them in, they give big jumps to that ancient magic meter as we're playing.
We're talking a lot about
Ja, Lobbers, wir haben ja das nach
spells,
Sims nur als Beispiel
magic
gebracht.
here,
Wir haben ja
but I think
gesagt, wir
there's
hoffen,
another
es wird nicht wie bei
huge
Sims.
component of combat, and that is the tools that you
Ach
can
stimmt, du hast ja
bring to
Franken, ich
combat as
vergesse
well
es
to kind
immer.
of,
Guten Morgen, Nina, wie geht's dir?
change the way you play, and I think Mackenzie knows a lot about what's going on with the plants and potions.
And so the tools are really interesting because they're basically like a prior investment. So you can bring the potions and the plants that you grow in the Room of Requirement to combat to essentially kind of help you defeat enemies a lot quicker and more efficiently. So some of the tools that you'll see here are like the rock skin potion. So that is something that basically covers your skin in this like rocky material that reduces the incoming damage that you're receiving. So against big enemies, hard-hitting enemies like trolls, that's super helpful.
Oh my God, she's just
Man hört die doppelt, ne?
The
Sie.
troll just collapsed from whatever the kid was.
Obviously, we have the Wiggenweld potion as well, which increases your
Jetzt
health.
nicht mehr.
And then we have the focus potion. So when Alan talks
Bergtroll.
about having to balance
Aua.
Avada Kedavra with a long cooldown,
Aua.
because obviously it's an instant kill, one thing that you could do is brew a focus potion, and that will increase how quickly your cooldown.
Ich sehe mich jetzt schon schreien bei den Kämpfen, Leute. Ich sehe mich halt jetzt schon schreien,
So
ne?
much like versatility, like in what the character is doing to the troll right now. Like he's just bouncing around the arena. He's like not, and the troll makes him move around too. Looks like.
And I love that our plants are violent.
Final Wave.
Yes, and so that's like when we were talking about the setup of the arena. You also have plants that you can fight with, and so we have things like the venomous tentacula that you can put down, and it acts like a turret, and it just kind of shoots enemies around the battlefield.
Der ist ja, der hat
That is
Rüstung
so
an.
cool. This is like a truly like Hufflepuffian way to approach the battle. Yes.
No, that was super important to us, that there were these like multiple ways. And so you can see there's a ton of different things you can use. The Mandrake is one, so you can pull it out and it stuns with its like piercing cry these enemies in a radius.
And another thing I want to call out that we're seeing on the side of the screen here is these dueling feats, which I love because I love anything that prompts me to play a game in a different way, a unique way. I don't want to get stuck in my style, you know? And so this is a way to, if you want to get stuck in your style, go for it. If you just want to blast people with spells, go for it. But we also want to have some things over here that may make you use certain plants or certain potions or block more or...
Yeah, we mentioned the field guide challenges.
Warte, ich glaube schon. Oh, das klingt nicht gut, Nina. Gute Besserung. Mir geht's gut, dankeschön. Das Kind hat heute durchgeschlafen. Ich bin happy. Das erste Mal seit Wochen und Monaten. Was für ein Handy bekommst du, Krü? Was bekommst du? Mein neues liegt immer noch hier. Ich wette, wir richten das morgen bestimmt ein, das Handy. Bestimmt.
When you see the green X's on characters,
iPhone 14, wow, krügend richtig. GG.
The fates of these different characters on the battlefield. That way, as you're cursing different characters, they all begin sharing damage. And so we have things like Avada Kedavra, which is the insta-kill, but if you curse everyone before you insta-kill this one guy, they can all drop dead for that kind of ultimate Voldemort fantasy. And so, oh my God. there are dark arts fantasies, there's fantasies.
Aber den Spinnensinn, den gibt's auch schon seit den Harry Potter-Büchern, Lobos. Kann man das essen? Oh je. So oft heute Nacht.
And we can also spec into our potions and plants to make them more powerful and more efficacious. So it's all about which type of player you feel like you are and whether or not you want to play with prep, on the fly, or with deliberation, and those are all different options.
That is so cool because like it's like I see so much like going on the stream, just so much complexity, and I want to just try it myself, like which style works best. I mean, I feel like it's the dark arts is going to be the easiest route, but that ancient magic, to be honest, feels like much more powerful than just the dark arts.
Yeah.
To be fair.
And speaking of plants and potions, we're going to be putting the dark arts away, put those unforgivable curses away, and heading to the Room of Requirement, which is your home within Hogwarts, a personalizable space that actually has some utility as well, where you get to brew things and grow things and
So matschig aus
also care for some beasts. All right, Andrew's got us in the Room of Requirement, wearing, we kind of went casual mode on the outfit
pro Nacht.
here,
Oh je,
wearing
das
a
klingt
nice
hart,
jumper.
Nina, das klingt hart.
And I think that's a
wird
good
wieder.
jumping off point for the personalization of the space as well. Not just your character and the visuals of your character, but actually
sieht
the
so
space
cool
is
aus.
a place that you can make your own.
Yeah, it was super important to us that this space really did feel like your reflection as a wizard. So you can change the architecture in here.
What?
Different themes throughout, starkly different themes, to really just hammer home that this is yours.
Ich wollte gerade fragen, ob man es umgestalten kann.
We never expected that to be. Oh my God.
That's the thing, is not only can you change the architecture here, but you can actually conjure little objects into this space, as you can see. So There's like statues that you can do, and ornaments, and tables, and rugs, and just a bunch of little things that really flesh out the space and bring it to life.
Oh my god, because like we had
Ja, ich sehe mich darin auch, Fruit. Ich wollte es gerade sagen. Stundenlang, Leute.
There's a furniture store.
Yeah, so we call them conjurations. And the conjuration recipes can be purchased at Tomes and Scrolls in Hogsmeade. But also as you engage in different types of gameplay throughout the world, you'll be rewarded with different objects.
Könnte ich bitte auch so die neue Wohnung einrichten?
You can change the color, you can change the size of it, and you can place it basically anywhere.
Oh my god, it's so tiny. It's like for Baby Niffler.
And I love
Kann die
how the
Mausi
system
drauf.
too is designed. It's not mechanical; it's immersive.
Langmaterial.
And
Oh
so you
Gott,
get
ich
the
hasse
magical
Farm.
effect of conjuring it in.
Ich hasse Farm.
You're actually doing this in the world as your
Ich hasse
character.
Farmen.
But the way you've blended like that gameplay with the immersive design of personalizing the space.
Oh my god, like, and I
Bin
love the
vielleicht ein bisschen
animation, how it like
verliebt gerade.
appears, you know, like it's not
Die
just,
Teller
like, there,
bewegen
it's, like,
sich,
it
seht ihr
almost,
das?
like, apparates.
It is really quite beautiful, and that was the thing, is we wanted that to look really
gucken.
nice, because the magic in the wizarding world is everywhere. It's physical, it's kinetic, and it's whimsical. And we really wanted to nail that whimsy in this space. Another thing that I wanted to discuss is that not only can you like conjure things and you can change their look, but you can do that with the utility objects as well.
Wenn ihr richtet, dann es geht ja leider nicht.
And potion stations, and you can change the look of those as well. And these are the
Nee, ich will
areas
einen
where,
anderen-
as we had mentioned
man kann die Farben
previously, you'll be
ändern.
growing your plants, you'll be brewing your potions.
Right.
So while you're
Ich will
also
weiß.
doing these like
Oder
kind
grau.
of nurturing-based activities, this is also the space where you would bring your gear to be identified, and gear to have
Weiß oder grau hätte ich jetzt genommen.
rates put on it, which I believe Alan can talk to.
Ich wissen ja, ich mag grau.
We keep bringing up appearance and how it looks, and on a, in the game you can look like anything you want to whenever you want to.
So ein Sofa hatten wir, by
will
the
be
way.
finding different
So ein
types of
Chesterfield
gear,
in
we call
dunkelrot.
it,
Hatten wir.
as you progress through the game.
Der alten
And
Wohnung.
essentially, we just know that clothes and different items in the wizarding world can have different magical properties. And as you
Krabbel kennt das sogar noch,
as you
das
explore
Sofa.
and as you adventure and as you defeat enemies, you're going to be finding different pieces of gear that have different abilities and that can help you in your journey and are a major part of you kind of growing as a wizard.
Ich glaube,
and
das ist auch
advancing as a
immer noch
wizard.
Work in Progress, ne? Das ist noch nicht fertig.
And not all the time, whenever you get a new piece of gear, you don't necessarily know exactly what it does. And so there is a station inside of the Room of Requirement that you can conjure. It's one of the first things you conjure, called an identification station, where you can actually bring that gear that you're uncertain about and learn what its abilities
Auch
are.
eine Hedwig dann haben.
That's so cool.
And then as the space advances even further, and the space will eventually grow its own rooms, and you're going to get new recipes, you know, like Mackenzie's talking about, all these different things keep expanding. And as it expands, eventually you're going to earn what we see here, which is called a loom. And when you set up a loom, it's an ability to essentially customize exactly which magical properties are on your gear and take any piece of gear and adjust its properties and to tweak what it does. And I mentioned earlier that you can make anything look like anything. The collection of appearances, we call it, or cosmetics, we've been referring to it in this stream. Those types of things you can use, and you can apply a look to any
Kommt keine
other
Verschiebung, es ist
look.
bestätigt mit
if you get a
14.
piece of gear, you put it
10.
on, you
August.
look
Es
like
ist schon
that, then you can
bestätigt.
change it to look like whatever you
Das
want.
kommt am 10.
So cool. And like you
für
just
die
you can just
Collectors
put some
Deluxe
ability
Edition.
to the sweater, but then you can just swap
Yeah.
that ability.
Yep, and appearances
wurde
you can
letztens
edit
noch mal
whenever you
bestätigt,
want
dass es
in the
kommt.
gear screen. The loom is specifically about applying traits and applying larger upgrades that just kind of grant you greater statistical advantage or give you
Ich werde
really
viel farmen
specific
müssen.
abilities that blend in nicely with where you're trying to go with your combat fantasy or talents and things like that.
Interesting. I'm just seeing that they're just like pumpkin fur, moonca fur. Where does that come from?
Yeah, and so you'll notice that the ingredients that are used to add traits and to upgrade your gear are based around beasts. So this is where we get into the beast care section, which is inside this vivario. Kind of bigger space on the inside idea. And so you can see here we have a couple of beasts out. We have a graphorn and a mooncalf and a niffler and a kneasel as well. So
Oh my
quite a
God.
variety.
Oh my god, he's just like a big puppy.
Oh,
They're so
das ist
cute.
Oh my
süß.
god, they're together. Oh, That's so cute.
They're adorable. And so part of beast care is
Lobos
petting
mag
them
einfach kein
as
Harry
well, but
Potter.
feeding them too. And so once you do those things, that's when they feel safe enough that they'll give you their magical ingredients. So mooncalf fur, niffler fur, etc.
Ich will den Niffler knuddeln.
That is like so like intuitive because like you know that makes sense because when you touch the
Oh,
animals, you
it's a
get some
big
fur
Niffler.
leftovers. That's so. Oh my god.
Yeah, and we really want to hammer home the fact that this is like a home that you're making for them. So in the overland, you can find these beast dens and rescue these beasts. Part of doing so
Mein
is
Herz.
crushing them and feeding them food as well, and to build that relationship with your beast. In addition to be able to care for beasts, you can actually conjure
Ich
things
will
in
alles
this space as well.
knuddeln. Oh, da ist noch was.
The cottage.
Yeah,
Katze.
right. And so we have like a lot of little ornaments in this area, and a lot of them are purely cosmetic, but they look really cool. Again, it's the personalization of this space.
Oh my
Natürlich.
goodness. No, this is like I'm gonna spend 8 hours just designing this whole area to personalize. This is like
Same.
cool. It's like you have this little play area,
ist
like
süß.
a personalized fish tank, so to say, just for the creatures. I love it.
Yeah, no, totally. And there's like a decoration aspect, but there's also, we were saying inside as well, is there's a utility.
Ich werde Jahre da
utility
drin
aspect to
sitzen.
it too.
Jahre.
As you progress in the game and you're able to purchase more conjurations, you're able to speed up your process. So one of them, for example, is the food processor, which allows for the beasts in the space to automatically get feed, so you don't have to do it manually. And so you're really building the progression for yourself here. In addition, there's also a toy box where you can play with your beasts.
No.
You'll see here, yeah. So you can, there's a bunch of toys in it, and each beast has their own favorite toy. So as you can imagine, the mooncalf really likes the moon ball, or the Niesel, as like a little cat, really likes to chase the yarn ball as well.
Right.
And they're super cute.
Süß.
Oh my god.
Watching them, it's so cute.
And the big thing we really wanted to hammer home is that the world is a dangerous place. And so by going and rescuing these beasts and bringing them back here and caring for them, you're really helping them out. There's poachers in the overland who hunt these beasts for their material. So instead, you're caring for them. You're giving them a home.
Right. Oh my god, this is so
Ich will's haben. Das ist so süß.
But he looks like my dog. My dog's right now for sure.
You could actually name them as well. So like your dog.
So getting back into that personalization, you know, yeah, we didn't want you to just like throw in, oh, here's a Graphorn in here. Like, this can be named whatever Andrew's about to name them. Bruce.
It's a good name.
You know, we've created this really nice space.
Hello, Bruce.
And you can get additional vivariums, correct? It's a different kind of aesthetics and looks to where you're keeping your beasts and caring for them.
Progression is a big part of this space as well. So as you progress through the story,
Man kann
you
da
will
echt
unlock more
alles
vivariums.
gestalten.
So as you can see, this one's quite meadow-themed, big, open, bright.
Klar.
But there's other ones, say like a swamp that you might encounter. And it's really a visual effect to and more space for your beast.
Oh, so it's like those, so when we're inside the room requirement, there's like on the left, there's that moon glow from one entrance and then some shrubbery going on in the right. Is that what you're talking about?
Yep, that's exactly it.
Ah, oh, you put trees in here too. Oh my goodness.
And another thing with the beast care that I think is great, you know, tying back to the same
So
kind of thing that you did with like the
süß.
broom, where the broom is not just a method of travel, it's actually built in and integrated into the world. In the same way, like beast care isn't just this added element. You're not just throwing
Kann
it
man
on
da die
top.
Steine
There's
ernten
really
oder
this,
was ist
like,
das?
narrative and
Okay, ja, kann
integration
man.
to
Danke, Frage
Yeah,
erledigt.
everything connects. So,
Hab eine
progressively,
Antwort
things will
erhalten.
Expand the space. As you earn resources, you'll go into Hogsmeade and use them to
Hä, da ist da oben was drauf.
unlock the gameplay here and unlock new conjurations and different things to play around with. In the open world, it's in those different environments, like the different combat and
geil.
conflicts and bandit camps and different things like that exist in the overland. Those things are what hold recipes that exist in the loom.
Jetzt ist
So
leer.
all these things have a way of connecting. Moonstone that you find out in the world is the resource that we use to conjure everything. That's found throughout the world. Forgeables are used for recipes. So really everything's like a cycle.
Ich habe vorgesagt heute,
But
Leute.
even with the story that's being told too, I think people know who Poppy is and that she has a particular affinity for beasts.
Yeah, I mean, I think everything we're seeing here, you're going to be venturing out into the world, and this is just kind of the tip of the iceberg, even of kind of like your interactions with beasts in that narrative. So, you bringing up Poppy, there are more kind of mysteries to discover and things to discover out in the world that have to do with her and that have to do with caring for beasts. And so different characters have their own stuff that just kind of make this all just kind of like the beginning of your journey.
Well, we could spend hours in here, but we're gonna have to end the stream now. What do you think about what you've seen today?
Es ist ja auch nur ein Gameplay in Showcase. Sie zeigen ja nicht alles. Das wäre ja selber doof.
How beautiful it looks. The open world seems
Die zeigen,
so
was es in dem Spiel
detailed,
geben
and there's
wird.
so many things to do, and like the combat,
Machen das schon richtig so.
2 weeks or more just breaking it down by pieces. There's just so much to this world. Like, I'm so happy you guys did this overall gameplay.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg. We've got more for you to discover and find on your own. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. Hogwarts Legacy is available for pre-order now. It releases February 10th with 72-hour early access for owners of the Collector's, Deluxe, and Digital Deluxe Edition. We're gonna wrap things up, but
Hi,
first
Katie.
we've got a little surprise for you.
Ja. Ich find's gut. Ich find's gut, dass es auch sowas gibt. Ich denke mal, es wird eh kein Muss sein, nicht unbedingt. Ne? Die haben ja gesagt, man kann da alles ja automatisieren, ne? Okay. Hä, da hast du doch deine Mimik. Was hast du denn? Da ist doch Mimik. Oh. Ob ich auf Meal Prepping Videos stehe? Vielleicht. Nein. Aber nicht doch. Ich mag Meal Prepping. So, geht in mein Epidemic Sound wieder. Es geht wieder, Leute. Es geht wieder. Hier. Nein, ich find's gut. I like it. Ich bin sehr gespannt. Ich bin wirklich sehr, sehr, sehr gespannt auf das Spiel. Ich bin sehr gespannt. Es wird gut. Es wird gut.